Santa Barbara Invite is the first semi-major tournament of the year, with half of the field being ranked in the Ultiworld and my own top 25 power rankings. The 16-team tournament has the top 3 teams in each pool making the brackets, with the winner of each pool getting a bye to the quarterfinals. With BYU Chi in attendance, we are lucky enough to get 2 showcase games on Friday nights against UC Santa Barbara and Cal Poly Slo, due to BYU's club sports policy not allowing them to play games on Sunday. These games will not impact pool play results, but do count in the rankings. BYU versus UC Santa Barbara showcased a sloppy BYU and a solid Santa Barbara, but BYU was able to win 13-9. Then Cal Poly Slo came in, and they looked smooth. Players like Alex Nelson and Anton Orm do not look like they should be playing college frisbee with their size and skill. BYU was able to get their offense back on track, but Slo core was too hard to break, winning 13-10 with no threat to losing. On to Saturday. In Pool A, Cal Poly Slo took care of business, with their closest game being a 13-10 win against UCLA. Unfortunately for Southern California, they were not able to hang along, with the second and third seeds of the pool coming down to UCLA and UC Santa Barbara.
Oh, I think so. Wait, let's try. Let's
UCLA win on Universe and take second in the pool, with Santa Barbara taking third. Pool B was our closest pool, with many games going down to the wire, and the largest win being 2 13-9 UC Santa Cruz wins. Those weren't the Slugs' only wins of the day, as they go 3-0 and win the pool, beating Utah 13-10. Between Utah, Stanford, and BYU, we end up with a 3-way tie, with Utah beating BYU 13-10, BYU beating Stanford 13-11, and Stanford beating Utah 13-11. This leads to Utah getting second and Stanford getting third, a shocking 4th place finish for a team people had high hopes on. Maybe we will see a different form of BYU at Florida warm-up. Pool C had one close game, and that was between California and Victoria, which certainly was a game.
Get over here!
Victoria wins the game 8-7 and win the pool, with California coming in second and UC San Diego taking third. Pool D started with Utah Valley taking down Washington 13-10, with the rest of the pool going to chalk until the 4 seed versus 5 seed matchup of Washington versus British Columbia. Washington showcased early on sloppiness and miscommunication between their players. Poor throws, wrong cuts, January frisbee. They have time to fix these mistakes. Surely enough, they were able to do that in the second half, bringing this game to Universe points.
He's calling him in.
Despite the comeback efforts, British Columbia hold on to the win and win the pool. Utah Valley takes second, and Washington is able to cling on to third. Looking at the bracket, one thing is odd. We have 2-seed Utah facing off against 2-seed California. Why is that? First off, throughout Saturday, the games were getting delayed due to how far the fields were from each other. Second, Utah was under the assumption that BYU was not participating in the bracket, as they tend not to do that at tournaments. Utah lost to Stanford, giving them the assumption that they had lost the head-to-head instead of putting Pool B in a three-way tie. Utah thought that they got third place in the pool, and with the games already being so late, they wanted to start their pre-quarter matchup as quick as possible, as it was nearly 5:30 p.m. at the time. They got partially through the game, then it was stopped, due to confusion on if Utah was the 2-seed or 3-seed in the pool. The game resumed with Utah winning 12-9. A rough spot to be in for California, as you would think you'd rather face Stanford instead of Utah, but who knows, as Stanford beat UC San Diego 12-9 in pre-quarters. On the other half of the bracket, Washington and Utah Valley win by 4 goals each to advance to the quarterfinals. The only team who didn't play in a close game in the quarterfinals was Victoria Vikes, who beat Utah Valley 13-7. Outside of that one game, the rest of the bracket gave us 1 to 2 goal games, including a Washington versus UC Santa Cruz matchup.
Go ahead.
The Slugs come back and win by 2 goals. Utah beats British Columbia on Universe, and in a shock of all shocks, Stanford upsets Cal Poly Slo on Universe, giving them their first win against Slowcore in 8 years. In the semifinals, Victoria's easy quarterfinal helps them out as they beat Santa Cruz 12-10. For Utah and Stanford, they are playing their 6th game in less than a 24-hour span. Utah's offense is very strong, but their D-line has some gaps, as they are not crossing over their playmakers all that often right now. Stanford's offense is very interesting, but it works. Lots of guys with glue hands, and a strong Alex Bellamy leading their D-line keeps them in this game. Utah wins the game on Universe points and are set to play Victoria in the finals. The finals gave us some chippy gameplay, with 2 Northwest teams trying to outshine the other. It was not the worst college game I've seen, but there were a chunk of ticky-tacky calls throughout. Utah gets a late break, and it eventually brings us to 9s. Then we see Max Pepperoni Petanuzzo being a playmaker, showcasing his athleticism, as he was one of the best players of the entire tournament. Utah ties it up at 10 apiece.
Nope.
After a monster huck, Victoria has a chance to break to win.